Hi, good evening. This is Scorecard on Citi TV. I know you were expecting Fenty Tahiru sitting here. Well, he's not around and I'm holding the fort for him until he returns. I'm sure he'll be back by next week. But the show must go on, and so somebody has to sail the ship, and I'm here. My name is Nathan Carr. Many thanks for tuning in. This is Scorecard, the show that runs the rule over everything that's happened across a sporting weekend. And then we go over everything, do some great analysis, have some lovely times, read your messages, and then we call it a night. We are running up until 10:30 p.m. on this network. So many thanks for joining. If you are watching us via DSTV channel 363 or GoTV channel 182 or even free to air, it's wonderful having you join us on a Sunday night to talk sports ahead of a nice 2-day holiday. So it doesn't matter if you stay up a little late to enjoy us. Your messages, of course, are welcome on the number 0550-585832, 0550-585832, hashtag City Sports, and go through as many of them as possible before the show comes to an end. We'll take a very, very quick break. When we come back, I'll introduce the guys on the show and we start rolling. This is Scorecard on Citi TV. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Welcome back. This is Scorecard on Citi TV. Let me introduce my guest. The regular in the equation is here. Coach Christopher Nimley. Coach, how are you doing?
Oh, very well.
I haven't been on this set in, years? In donkeys, man.
Yeah, man.
But it doesn't matter. We are back.
As usual, you, Fenty, and Ketia, the level is still the same. And at the end of the day, any of you very capable of stepping in and then doing a decent show.
I'm sure.
But I'm happy, though.
Yeah.
I'm from a place the host of the show, the original host, has made me happy.
He's made you happy.
Yeah, he's part of why I'm late, but everything is cool.
No, we'll discuss that a little later. Yao Mensah is joining us. Yao, how are you doing?
I'm doing well.
It's been a while. I've not seen you on this show in a bit.
Yes.
But you are more regular than I am. Relatively.
Relatively speaking, yes. Yeah, I've been on the show on a couple of occasions.
Okay.
It's good to be back, though.
All right, nice to have you. Thank you so much for joining us. Let's start off with the Ghana Premier League, and it's still ongoing despite the many things that are distracting us as a country. Remember, there was the World Cup qualifiers, AFCON qualifiers, AFCON itself, all kinds of other things. But the Ghana Premier League is happening unabated. And Asante Kotoko, they are trying to win that title from Accra Hearts of Oak. They took a giant step towards that. They traveled to the Red Bull Arena over the weekend to play WAFA. And it was a meeting of somebody meeting his ex, quote unquote, because Dr. Prosper Nate Ogum here, he was in charge of WAFA for many years until he left to Asante Kotoko. He took his new team back to his old place. And he ended up winning by a slim margin to give his team a huge advantage in the title hunt in the Ghana Premier League. Let's enjoy the pictures from the Red Bull Arena as Kotoko defeated WAFA by a single goal to 0.
7 fixture in Soga Kope. Now Zoo. Beautiful play from WAFA. Zoo's effort will receive the applause from Guillermo Zarakota. Impressive play from the Academy lads. Here comes Steven Amankuna. He's got entry Mensah to be the lovely skill. Amankuna to the near post. Impressive play from Amankuna, but it's not beating Osei Bonsu.
No, that was a very intelligent run by Kunudu, but a bit more on that later.
Gamo finds Nete now. Here's it to Mudasiru. Good save from Bonsu.
Yeah, that's a lot better from Kotoko. Etuga realized he can't get a turn, but he's setting up his man. The weight on his pass is good, and the way Mudasiru arrives is perfect. He's bending over the ball and he's latching onto it with every drive he's got.
That's the whistle. It's WAFA nil. Asante Kotoko nil. Ready for second half kickoff.
Yeah, I think based on what we saw in the first half, the managers will be asking these two sides to be more precise when they get into the final third.
But Ajuman's ball is intercepted. Here is Kunedu. Powerful header from Nete. But is WAFA coming close? Oforia Ajuman. Lovely ball through by Jamna. Here comes A Japan. Good save done, lad. Clearance away by Owusu. Good ball from Apil to Etuga. Here is Etuga. Here is Etuga. It is Etuga. It's the Cameroonian goalmonger. Frank Mbella Etuga.
Keeps his cool. When he's in the box, as I've said, he's the coolest player you find on the pitch. Rounds the goalkeeper. Finds the empty nets for his 18th goal of the season.
Tedeku Owusu. He turns onto his right foot. Here is Marvin Owusu. Danlad saves. It is Samson Japan. Danlad saves again, but the Japan was offside before he made that attempt. Oh, lovely pass to find Etuga. Here is Etuga creating space for himself. It is Etuga. Bakil and Mfege's drive. Parried. WAFA pushing desperately for the equalizer, appealing for a penalty. Here is Tosuche.
All right, so it was Cameroonian magic that handed Asante Kotoko all 3 points on the day. Frank Mbella. So Frank Mbella has the new club record for Asante Kotoko in his hands. Now, a few weeks ago, it came up in conversations. People were even doubting due to the number of penalties he had scored, but it looks like he has the record now, and he's a very, very reliable goal scorer for Asante Kotoko. Should they win the title, they need to thank him because a lot of his goals are the reason why they might probably win the league. Coach, let me start off with you. Your thoughts on the encounter? Kotoko won by a singular goal, but it ended up being enough to give them 3 points, especially as they are chasing the Ghana Premier League title.
Yeah, you see, before the game, so many things had gone on off the pitch incidents where management, their approach to stamping their authority or their level of discipline in the team, some of us have questioned. I'm one of those who believe that the manner in which they've handled certain issues, I would have done it differently.
Some players are on suspension.
Yes, some players are on suspension, and if you listen to what is being said out there, I've spoken to somebody very close to the player, and the manner in which the head coach, Prosper, have been addressing some of the players. If indeed, read my lips, this is national television, if and only if, in addressing these players, the words, which of course I will not say here, were indeed used, then I think Prosper needs to be spoken to. Now, with all his experience, there's a better way of going about that. But let's come to the football. You see, the manner in which they've handled the thing is brought about some form of pressure leading to this game, especially with some players being suspended and some players being asked to leave the entire setup of the team. So Kotoko themselves were under pressure. The manager is on record to have said that he believes some of the players are trying how to sabotage him. And in my view, if you look at how crucial we are, where we are in the season, the way it's so crucial, he needs to be very careful. This is where he needs to trust and bring every player on board. They played very well, without a doubt, because this is a game. Look, Kotoko has never won at Sogakope before. Kotoko, they've never won at Sogakope. This is the very first time they've done so.
Yeah.
I think they've played 6 or 7 games, they've lost 4 and drawn 3, something of the sort. But they've never won at Sogakope. So if you look at what has transpired within the team and for them to put themselves together, go all the way to a place that they've never won, knowing very well that WAFA themselves are so much in need of the points. And for them to have done what they did, congratulations to them. One can only hope that this victory would start a run of victories in very difficult games. They'll be playing Brecum Chelsea, they'll be playing Mediama, they'll be playing Ediana. They've got some very difficult games to navigate. They can only use this as a catalyst to get them to navigate those games, because it is clear that the chasing pack, when I say the chasing pack, specifically the chasing, they don't have the balls. They don't have the balls to actually mount a proper challenge, because I think in the past 2 or 3 weeks, the Kotoko form has been very undulating, and I thought that Bechem should have used that to at least make this a contest between the two teams. But anytime Kotoko were to lose, they also go either they lose or they draw. And for me, it doesn't speak volume. I've got serious issues with the manner in which they lost against 11 Wonders. I'm talking about Bechem. If you look at what transpired, we are getting there again. You see, we are getting
you feel that teams are beginning to speak to each other.
Oh yes.
Away from the pitch.
Go watch that game again. A game where when 11 Wonders scored, the away team scored the third goal. Every single supporter started jubilating. The sort of things we have heard that warranted that jubilation from even the home supporters.
Interesting stuff.
To add up to what Coach said, we've had a situation where an Indiana Stars, for instance, they've conceded a goal and an Indiana Stars player was caught on video doing this.
It's serious, though.
Doing this.
In which game was this?
I can't remember the specific game, but it happened. And we've had another situation where referee Isaac Osei has penned his report to the GFA, where he indicated match reports, where he indicated that a game played at the Brecon Park had one player score 2 own goals.
Yes.
And the manner of the own goals had intentional motives behind it, and nothing has been done about it. And this happened in the first round.
Okay.
This happened in the first round. So what coach says is it alludes to what has been happening in recent times, and you don't want that to happen, because in the latter part of last season, it pretty much ruined the momentum that the Ghana Premier League
especially
had
the
built.
last game, and it's that game that we are still dealing with now, the Ash Gold Inter Allies game, and we don't know the head and tail of that case.
If the people I know the people are at the FA, this is one program that they watch. A word of advice to them: go back, go look at that Bechim 11 Wonders.
Bechim 11 Wonders game.
The game that Bechim was comfortably in the lead, 2-0 in the lead. In the last 20 minutes.
When was this game played? A few weeks ago.
I think about four weeks ago.
Okay.
In the last 20 minutes, they considered 3 goals. 3 goals. Go look at the penalty that the referee even awarded. The manner in which the player conceded the penalty. And go look at the reaction of the supporters when the away team scored that third goal. Every single supporter
was happy.
Home supporter,
they were cheering.
They were jubilating. Why do you think they were jubilating?
Wow, interesting stuff. I'm sure the people at the FA, I'm sure you get the match reports. We know you get the match reports. We know you have the tapes. We know you watch the game. So please keep an eye on these things, because we don't want the game tarnished. Anyway, we stay with the Ghana Premier League. Your thoughts on WAFA have had a very wretched season, and they are still in the relegation woes. It looks like they may go down. There's not enough turnaround time to probably save their season. Why do you think this has happened to them? For a team that last season finished third, I think the best finish they had, third under Dr. Ogum. Now they are in the back. They are involved in a relegation battle. It doesn't look good at all.
Yes, it's a natural process that happens. In football, outside football, it's a natural process that happens. Back in the day, in agricultural science class, you are taught that when you keep on winning the sand, winning the soil, planting consistently without giving the soil enough time to regenerate its nutrients, pretty much, you end up making the soil, I think, infertile. You have to give it a fallow period. Yes, that's the right way, a fallow period. And it applies to football. When you constantly sieve off the top talent, it will get to a point where you cannot replenish that talent, that quality of talent with the guys you are pushing to the elite level. And we've seen it over the years with other teams. AS Monaco was challenging for Champions League final spots.
Everybody bought their team.
Everybody bought their players, and it got to a point they almost got relegated under Leonardo Jardim. We've seen what has happened to Udinese back in the day, where they were top 4 contender, or a top contender for 4th place in the Italian Serie A, and consistently they kept on shipping their players out. The likes of Kodjo Asamoah, Suleiman Tarius and co, from a Ghanaian perspective, they all went through the Udinese rank. And now it has caught up to them. Okay. Now Udinese isn't a top 4 contender. So you look at WAFA, the number of players that they've been shipping out of the team, it will definitely catch up to them. And this is this is the result of consistently shipping out players. But talent is very difficult to replicate. Talent is very difficult to replicate. So I'm not too surprised that they find themselves in this position. But I wouldn't be surprised if they're able to survive, because you look at the contenders for the relegation battle. There are so many, and the point build-up is so close. So I wouldn't be surprised if they're able to make a win or two and escape relegation.
Chris?
Look, I think they will go down. Yeah. Look, they are the team I support in the league. Apart from my traditional team that I support, you take that team away. Yeah. I'm a WAFA fan. I was very close to Coach Samadi. I more or less sat in his home. We talked football. Yeah. Most of my coaching books, the late Coach Samadi recommended, and then I bought and read. And so he myself could talk proper things. He would give me work to do. I put them into perspective, and then he go through and then pass it through. But look, since his death, the place has never been the same.
Okay.
That is what it is. That is where the problem is. The manner in which the place is being run has completely changed. Look, I was at the verge of putting aside everything that I was doing, and I was going to join Coach Ade.
there.
I have never said this publicly anywhere, because he's no more to attest to what I'm saying. But I am stating emphatically that after his death, and then I think the owner, the one who owns the team, the brain behind that whole thing, he's also passed on. Since the exit of these two
So you feel that the team is not being managed well?
It is what it is, because if you're dealing with young, talented boys, one thing that you cannot afford to do is not to decide when to sell and when not to sell. When Coach Ade was there, I can attest to, look, there were times where teams came calling. But Coach Ade, with all his experience, would tell them, look, for the next 2 years, nobody, no player is leaving the academy. Why? Because he was of the view, they don't go splashing the cash to bring in new players to replace. But before he sells, he always made sure that those to take up the mantle or the baton were ready to step in the shoes of the exiting players. But as we speak today,
it's not same, and so there's this dip in
like
quality.
you said, they placed third last season.
Yeah.
Go look at the players they shipped out. The question is, those who have come to replace those, are they ready? They would have been ready 2 seasons from now.
2 seasons from now.
So
and they have to play the league now.
Exactly. If Coach Ade was around, he would have kept those boys.
So what will happen? Assuming they go down, what do you think will happen to WAFA as we know it?
Look, it's going to get worse, because, look, I'm doing some research about them. I want to find out whether the source of the funding is still coming in. Because if you talk to some of the players, they actually are beginning to complain.
Okay.
The manner in which the place is being run, how they are being fed, how they are being treated, the manner in which they're being paid. Everything has had a 360 turn.
All right. So essentially, WAFA aren't doing too well. Well, maybe one of these days we'll spend more time talking about them. Let's move on to the other game. Defending champions Accra Hearts of Oak, they are still trying to put some life into their title defense. It may not work, but at least they want to finish top 4. They took on Dreams FC, who are fresh off appointing Ignatius Osei-Fosu as their latest head coach. The two of them met at the Accra Sports Stadium. This is exactly what happened.
Fitted in so well into this as a book team. He gets to Awako. Awaku's ball gets a block. Would this be the first goal? And Daniel Afriye Barnier puts the Phobians ahead.
Yeah, I like how Hearts win the ball on that side. Inkum, Awaku, and everybody involved. Awaku is trying to go for the air strike. I think if it goes through, the goalkeeper makes the save.
Inkum swings in across. Bani on the volley. Brilliant save from Kumsin. Siraj will take advantage of this one. Here is Siraj. It is Siraj! Awesome! This is absolutely amazing. What a goal from the young chap Siraj.
That is what he's doing there. Nobody tight enough. A very good hit. Goalkeeper gets something. And maybe if he looks at it again, he'll be disappointed. He doesn't get enough power in the save. But
good play from Ejenim Boateng, trying to find Boahin. Boahin's header. And he's missed. Simba picks out Ejenim Boateng as a poor first touch, but he manages to hang on to possession. He's looking for Boachi. He goes down in the box and there's a penalty for Dreams FC. On Ejeni Boatin. He makes it. Ejeni Boatin. And it's over for first half football.
Which means that the second half would have a different complexion altogether.
It is Benjamin York sprinting down the left side. It's an own goal. Heading the ball into the back of his own net as if he was a striker York was aiming at.
I'll tell you what, if he was a striker, that wouldn't have been a bad header at all. Real spin about it. It's a really good header for a striker.
I'm quite in confusion, but Richard Atta nearly. Issa Yakubu has blasted and is gone over the bar for a goal kick. Amankwa makes a mistake. Adamu Amadu pounces on it. Here's Adamu Amadu. Adamu Amadu has fluffed the opportunity. Daniel Laye.
Hearts of Oak winning 3-1 there. Interesting. Lovely goal from Suraj. The own goal and what almost was a blunder on the part of Richard Atta. He would have made the front pages, trust me, if that had leaked or kind of like bubbled into the back of the net. But Hearts of Oak winning by 3-1. Yeah, very interesting scoreline. Hearts of Oak at home, or this season generally, have not fared too well, but this is one of their better displays. So they managed to put 3 past Dreams.
Yes, this is one of their better displays. This is one of the few games that Accra Hearts of Oak have scored multiple goals. They don't tend to score a lot of goals, particularly this season. Once they won last season's title, the goal seems to have dried up this season. But I'm not too surprised that Dreams FC lost this game. You look at even the lead up to Suraj's goal, that's the second goal for Hearts of Oak. Yeah. They tried to play out from the back, and it was a terrible back pass that led to Suraj getting the ball. And he was able to do the rest and score a beautiful goal. It's all down to the new coach. When a new coach comes in, he brings new tactics, and it's clear that Ignatius Fosu, what he has done in the lead up to his appointment as the Dreams FC coach, is very tactical. He's one of those guys who are very brainy when it comes to the fine details of the game, and it's clear that he wants to impact the new style, the modern style of football to this team. But it's too soon. It's too soon for it to gel, for it to work. And the breakdown or the downside to it not working is what led to the second goal by Accra Hearts of Oak. Brilliant goal from Suraj, but when you concede possession in that position, that's just criminal. And Hearts of Oak, kudos to them. They were able to take advantage of the opportunities that came there. When a free Ebani, he's getting his scoring boots on, and it's good news for Accra Hearts of Oak, and it's good news for the national selectors too, because I think he's one of those guys who is always around the danger area. He's always creating opportunities. He's always creating chances. He's putting the defense under enormous pressure with his runs, with his trickery. Although he tends to waste a lot of chances, that's what he needs to work on. But I think he's one for the future. And Accra Hearts of Oak, they are making a strong run, and I wouldn't be surprised if they end up making it to third place, and they might even shoot for second place, especially looking at the form of Bechem United.
Well, we'll see if Hearts of Oak can do that. Chris, your thoughts on the encounter? We saw Glatson Awako with his hair all sprayed, the own goals and all. I don't know what you made of the encounter, but I thought Hearts of Oak had a relatively comfortable afternoon.
Now, there's something I'm beginning to observe, and I think it is very good on the part of Hearts of Oak. They have clearly relinquished the league title to Kotoko. So whatever they do now is in preparation for next season. The Siraj board, Samuel Bwedu is beginning to introduce players that if the competition was that keen, he wouldn't trust. He wouldn't believe in. But now that the title is gone, it's clear that some of the young boys who's got proper talent, proper ability, now begin to get introduced into the setup, so that by the time next season will come around, they would have had a feel of the Samuel Bwedu way of doing things, and Hearts of Oak can kick on from there. But at the end of the day, what he really needs to watch is to, again, not to tamper with the core of his team. I've always said that anytime he tends to change the setup, especially in the middle of the park, a bit too much. Okay, there are times when you are doing that. The spine of the team should always be available. That I am not seeing. So if he can find a way of introducing these young guys, but making sure that one or two guys who understand his way of doing it is always around, helping in teaching these guys what to do. For Ignatius, look, if you take up a team mid of the season, the coaching will tell you that don't go in there and try to impose your identity. When you go in there, you look at what has been done, whether working or not, and try and play to the strength of your players. And then you coach your identity through their strength. If you do so, the players themselves immediately begin to fall in love with your ideology and begin to play for you. But when you go and in the middle of the season, you've not had preseason with them, when you walk in there, once the season is ongoing, you just come and say, look, no. Somebody tried that when he came to House of Folk at the beginning, and it didn't work. Some of us prompted him, play to the strength of Efutu, play to the strength of Neti, play to the strength of Salisu. And then it worked for him, and he won the league.
All right, let's have a look at the league table, or the full results rather. Let's have a look at the full result. There you have it. WAFA losing at home. Olympics drawing on the road at 11 Wonders. RTU were a bit too strong for Accra Lions. Legon City's beat Elmina Sharks. So Legon City, that's their third straight win. They are trying to save their season, and they are doing a good job. King Faisal 2, Bechem 2, Karela 2, Gold Stars 0, Hearts 3, Dreams 1, Ash Gold 5, Brekum Chelsea 1. Ash Gold 5, Brekum Chelsea 1. Now, Yao Ano has 16 goals now. Imbella has 18. So all of a sudden, it's a shootout between Yao Ano and Imbella for who tops the scorers chart. Yao Ano, on the back of Ash Gold banging in the goals, they are there. On Monday night, there's a game, on Monday afternoon, there's a game between Aduana Stars and Midiama, a very, very important game. Let's have a look at the league table. So Kotoko on 55, Bechem 10 points behind, Hearts of Oak 12 points behind. Credit to Hearts of Oak, they've managed to move themselves into the top 3, and it looks like they may want to hunt down Bechem for second place. Mediama on 42, Aduana Stars, Olympics, Karela all on 40. Chelsea, Legon City's Ash Gold on 39, I believe. Ash Gold on 38. Gold Stars on 35. Accra Lions on 33. Dreams on 32. RTU on 30. Faisal on 31. Wonders on 29. WAFA on 26. Sharks on 20. So, yeah, just like you said, it's still very close. RTU, King Faisal, Wonders, and WAFA all in the mix. You can even add Dreams and Lions and all of that because the points gap is so thin.
And there are 7 games left to play.
There are 7 games left. Anything
for those
can happen.
Teams, with the exception of Midiama and Aduana Stars, who have to play on Monday.
Yeah.
So there are 7 more games left.
Anything can happen. Yeah. Anything can happen.
Anything can happen if and only if there will be proper contest.
Okay.
Or proper competition.
I get your point, and I think it's a valid point you make, that the 7 games will have to be played fairly.
Oh, yes.
Keenly contested.
And then we see who comes out.
Who gets relegated.
Who stays. All right. You're still watching Scorecard on Citi TV. The guys are still here. Yaminta Coach, namely, my name is Nathan Carl. A lot of the messages have come in. We'll take a very quick break. When we come back, I go through some of your messages. And we jet off to England. All kinds of interesting things happening in the Premier League. Top 4, title, relegation, things to be resolved, things to be concluded in the next few weeks. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. This is on Citi.